Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. Marc Marquez faced a challenging race at Silverstone, where a crash in the sprint race saw him drop from 3rd to 4th in the championship standings. Amidst his struggles, Marquez also expressed his views on the current qualifying format and the impact of towing in MotoGP. Francesco Bagnaia has expressed his frustration with MotoGP riders relying on tows during qualifying sessions. Following a disappointing performance in the British MotoGP sprint race, the reigning world champion shared his thoughts on the importance of setting an example and maintaining focus on individual performance. Pedro Acosta has unleashed a fervent critique of the tow controversy in MotoGP qualifying, voicing his frustration with riders who disrupt others' laps. The young Spaniard, who finished 5th in the British MotoGP sprint race, shared his thoughts on the issue and reflected on his performance after a challenging race. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marc Marquez's Silverstone sprint race ended prematurely when he crashed out, losing a chance to gain ground in the championship. Marquez, who had been in a strong position after Francesco Bagnaia's earlier crash, found himself struggling with tire issues and ultimately fell at the final chicane. "I was super happy about my race because my target was to try to be in 5th position. Not counting the crash of Bagnaia, I was there. I felt better and better with the bike. But it was a combination of things. We put the hard front tire, and it was very on the limit on the left side. I started to lose the front group, so the front tire temperature started to drop, and on that left corner it was more critical." Marquez explained that the hard front tire, while providing adequate grip, offered less warning when nearing the limit, leading to his unexpected crash. "When you put the hard tire, it means that maybe the grip is okay, but the warning is less because it's not moving. I touched a little bit the white line, tried to come back, and without warning, I lost the front. But it's like this. We are riding super fast. They are riding super fast. And as we see in every race, somebody makes a mistake." Quote from Marc Marquez. Despite Bagnaia's crash offering a glimmer of hope, Marquez remains pragmatic about his championship chances, acknowledging the strong form of his rivals. "Of course we have a chance, but I already said in Assen, we are not in a position to fight for the championship. From Le Mans we are saving the Sundays at the last minute. So in the end you can save 1, 2 or 3 Sundays, but there will be one that we will not save, another that you will do a mistake." Marquez also commented on the controversial nature of MotoGP's qualifying sessions, where towing has become a common strategy. Marquez was among the riders seeking a tow but was ultimately held up, impacting his lap times. "I will be lucky or happy if I'm the guy that they follow, because it means I'm the fastest one. Racing is and always will be like this if they don't change the qualifying practice and put like a super pole. But as we see in the past, super pole is boring. I don't have anything against it, but in superbikes, it was like 1 by 1 and the show wasn't there," Marquez told by Crash. Marquez's remarks reflect frustration with the current system, where riders often depend on others for optimal lap times. He suggested that while the superpole format might be less entertaining, it could address some issues with the current qualifying setup. "In the end, when you follow somebody, you gain some things. As we see today, everybody at the end of Q2 was waiting for the fastest guy, and it's like this." Marquez also discussed the potential for automatic penalties for slow sectors, indicating that such measures might shift the focus to the pit lane, similar to the Moto3 format. "But then the strategy will be in the pit lane, like in Moto3 right now. As I said yesterday, this GP is the first one this year that I'm looking for a slipstream. I would like to not do it, like I did in past races. But of course, the rules are the rules and I'm not the guy to decide." Marquez concluded by noting the complexities of improving lap times behind another rider and the impact of such strategies on qualifying sessions. "Today Bezzecchi went out at turn 3 and was in the middle of Di Gianantonio and me. And yeah, he did his fastest lap on that lap, but only 59.6. So he slowed me down. But it was no penalty, and I agree. But in the end, if you are not disturbing the others, it's okay," Marquez concluded. Marc Marquez's Silverstone weekend was marked by frustration and challenges, both on the track and in qualifying. As he navigates a tough season and contemplates potential changes to the qualifying format, Marquez remains focused on maximizing his performance and making the most of his remaining opportunities in MotoGP. Stay tuned for more updates as the season progresses. Francesco Bagnaia has voiced strong opinions about riders who depend on tows to improve their qualifying times. The Ducati rider, who is known for his individual prowess, believes that the best riders should be able to perform well on their own without relying on others. He emphasizes that such tactics detract from the focus on genuine performance and personal skill. "We are the best riders in the world. We are here because we can do things alone. Our speed is great alone. I don't understand why some riders need a tow. For what? For 1/10, 2/10. It's better to be alone and to focus on the performance, and not thinking I will follow someone." Bagnaia's frustration was evident during the British MotoGP weekend, particularly in the aftermath of Q2 qualifying. He observed that some riders, including those in Moto3, prioritize getting a tow over improving their individual lap times. Bagnaia criticizes this practice as detrimental to both the sport and the fans. "These kind of things remove from your focus on performance. Being alone is much easier and better. For example, today I slowed down a bit, then entered the lap for the last attempt 30 seconds after the last riders and in corner 4 was overtaking them. I think it's ridiculous, also for the riders and the people that are seeing what we are doing." Quote from Francesco Bagnaia. Despite securing a front row start, Bagnaia's hopes for a strong finish in the sprint race were dashed when he crashed at turn 4 on lap 4. He admitted to overestimating his approach to the corner and acknowledged a mistake in his racing line. Additionally, Bagnaia struggled with rear grip issues early in the race, which contributed to his downfall. "I did a mistake, honestly. All weekend I was really fast in corner 4 and was entering really fast. In this lap I exaggerated a bit the line and was closer to the apex. I anticipated the entry and lost the front," Francesco Bagnaia added by crash. Bagnaia also highlighted a technical issue with his rear device, which did not engage properly, affecting his performance in the early laps. Despite a strong start and a subsequent recovery, he was unable to overcome the setbacks and ended up crashing. Bagnaia reflects on these challenges and expresses his determination to improve. "I did a very good start, but the rear device didn't engage, so I did corner 1 and 2 with the bike in a lower position and lost the positions. Then I struggled a bit with rear grip in the first lap and a half, more or less. Then everything was perfect again and I closed the gap, but as soon as I got to corner 4 I crashed. I just did a mistake," Bagnaia concluded. Francesco Bagnaia's criticism of the reliance on tows in qualifying and his candid reflection on the sprint race underscore his commitment to setting high standards in MotoGP. As he looks to overcome recent challenges and continue his pursuit of excellence, Bagnaia remains focused on improving his performance and maintaining the integrity of the sport. Stay tuned for more updates and insights as the MotoGP season continues. Pedro Acosta has strongly criticized the practice of riders disrupting others' laps during qualifying by stopping in critical sections of the track. His outburst, made during a media session at Silverstone, highlights his frustration with how these tactics impact the flow of qualifying and the performance of other riders. "I understand we can wait in the pit lane. I can even understand that we wait on the outlap. But the worst thing for me, if for any reason your lap is fucked, then you stop in the middle and fuck the laps for the other guys. This, for me, is not correct." Quote from Pedro Acosta. Acosta emphasizes the need for new rules to address the issue, arguing that such disruptions compromise the fairness of qualifying sessions and the safety of the sport. He suggests that riders should not interfere with others' laps and proposes stricter regulations to prevent these practices. We are not stupid, we know where we disturb, and where we don't. It is many races already with this. I think we need to stop. We need to make a rule: when you start a lap, don't fuck the lap of the other guys. Acosta compares the impact of these disruptions to the dirty air effect seen in Formula One, where drivers intentionally create conditions that hinder their competitors. He underscores that while occasional mistakes are understandable, consistent disruptive behavior is harmful to the sport and its participants. I won't say they fuck their own laps, but there is a race for everything. You know, when Formula One cars put dirty air to other cars? This is the same. If you fuck up the performance of the other guys, you are faster. Acosta, who qualified 9th and finished 5th in the sprint race, also discussed the challenges he faced during the race. He collided with fellow KTM rider Brad Binder, which resulted in damage to his bike's wing. Despite this setback, Acosta managed to adapt and perform well. Everything was not so bad. It was quite tough to manage for 2 laps until I understood how to ride the bike without the wing. It meant I was losing time with Marc and Brad. But after, I recovered with Brad before Marc crashed. Describing his experience riding without a wing, Acosta likened the situation to a plane missing one wing. He noted the difficulties in managing the bike's handling and balance, particularly in corners, but remained positive about his performance and the improvements he made during the race. It was like a plane with only one wing. The problem I had is that the whole bike wanted to go like this because only one wing was putting pressure on the floor. The same in the corners. On the right corners it was easy to lose the front, Acosta concluded. Pedro Acosta's impassioned comments on the toe controversy and his reflections on the sprint race highlight his commitment to improving MotoGP and his resilience in the face of challenges. As the season progresses, Acosta remains focused on performance and fairness, advocating for changes to enhance the sport. Stay tuned for more updates from the MotoGP circuit. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you in the next video.